This is DC Danton Crow Crusader, and looks like Seymour's here. Here's our little pigeons, and yeah, he let out his little cry. And look, and here's our little Petey, Petey, Petey baby, Petey, oh Petey, Petey, Petey baby. Petey. First we gotta take care of our little pigeons first. And Petey. And we'll get on to the other birds. I should really open this at home. You really put this on tight here. It's like a way of keeping it closed. And you can reclose it. Oh, Petey, I know. You little guys. Wow. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Here's our little pigeons. What's this here? Looking at this here. What is that? I don't know what that is. I think I'm going to pick that up. Does not look good. Okay. Alright, now we got some cashews out. There's our Seymour, which I didn't see this morning. So I guess you know what happened to my little Stubby. Stubby's been around a long time. He's very short and squatty, with short legs and a very full body. I don't know. He was very unique looking and very forlorn, always very sad looking. I think he lost his mate, and he looked so forlorn, and he always had a little bit trouble walking, and he would come very close to me and try to get some food. And I always made sure he got some. Even in the winter seagulls, he came near me and I made sure that I always threw him something, that he had something to eat. And I just can't believe what they did to him. And it's obvious that it was here at the shopping center because whatever he ate, it happened here, and it happened quickly. And you remember that on Friday, the birds wouldn't come down. That something happened here. So, now, at the time that I took that video, he was exhibiting all the symptoms of poison. And of course you know the story that he died later that night. But he was already dying. He couldn't move on the street. And when I picked him up, to get ready to take him to my special place. It was there, which you don't see this on the video because this happened like 20 minutes later. And this video is going to the police. Stubby was shot in the head. And I couldn't see the hole in his head. It was an air rifle. And now we put the pieces of the puzzle together. On Saturday, when I did the Saturday evening feeding, nobody would come to the field. No, the birds were disturbed, really disturbed. They wouldn't come down. And I think the janitor here is in here on Saturdays. He shot the bird because Stubby was always here. This is Stubby's home. And since he couldn't fly as fast as the others and was slow and he was kind of short and squatty, he was an easy target. And he shot him in the head and he couldn't get him because obviously he couldn't fly after he was shot in the head. But he must have crawled away and hid away, and the janitor couldn't get a hold of him. And that's why I found him in the underground parking garage. He had hidden away. And of course, as the day went on, he was dying, internal bleeding. So I'm going to take my pictures of Stubby to the police next week, and I'm going to file charges against the janitor, because I don't think a church member or anybody here, anyone from even Meister from across the street would shoot over here. I think the birds were here Saturday morning. The janitor gets in at 5 o'clock, and that's when he shot him. And he lasted then until Saturday night, until I found him. And of course, he died early Sunday morning, around 1 a.m. So, that's the story. I always tell the truth, but at that time, when I saw him, I did not see the hole in his head because I'd grabbed him and he had laid down on that side. And it wasn't until I was getting ready to take him away that I turned him over and saw the hole in his head. Well, symptoms are similar because poisons shut down the central nervous system. They shut down the organs, the breathing, and so forth and so on. And when you have internal bleeding in the brain, it does basically the same thing. And that's why he couldn't walk properly. He kept wobbling to the side like he was drunk. And that's exactly what happens when the birds get poisoned. He was disoriented and he was very weak. And those are signs of poisoning. Depending on the poison, some of them, most of the birds, his behavior was he tried to eat the cashew. He couldn't really eat the cashew. And the other 2 cashews, he hid away. And that's exactly what Charlie did on that Saturday night when he disappeared. Now, I didn't see that Charlie was shot, so I'm assuming on Saturday evening he was already suffering from poisoning, and sometime Saturday night, Sunday morning, he died. Because it goes that quickly. It can take up to 2 days, and it can take 24 hours. So, yeah. But that's what happened. Little Stubby was shot. Of course, like I said, at the time, I thought he was poisoned. And because he basically acted like the other birds that had been poisoned that I took care of and rescued or tried to rescue in my life here around this feeding station. And and that's what I thought. So, but yeah, somebody shot him, and they shot him. Air rifles are 30 to 50 meters. You got to be relatively close. And I think he parked his van and he shot him right out from his van. And probably he tried to get him, but he couldn't. Stubby was too quick. He hid away. He couldn't find him. Here's our little gulls here. Glad to see my little Seymour. And a little mule gull here. There's a little squeaky noise. And his little friend, Seymour's other friends. So now you know. We have poisoned birds, and we have birds that are being shot. And I have no problem uploading that video shot to show you the hole in his head, but I'm not sure you want to see it, okay? I'm not sure you want to see it. So, and I took photos, and that's for the police. But you see, the birds are systematically being shot at, which is what I always said, and poisoned. Okay? Remember that Mr. Meister here. Oh, there's Jeremy. And by the way, Seymour is not being aggressive. He's guarding his feeding station. And that is his instinct. Okay? He's been coming here for over a year. And every day for over a year.